All right. It is a hot summer day. I am back in my house. I'm not in my shed right now because it is just way too hot. It's been like above 94 degrees, or it's been like 94 at its highest, and it keeps going up each week. And the we all know the ACs are just really loud, and inside the house I can sit here in my little corner. I have like this little desk with that I use my printer and stuff, like when I ship out labels and or do paperwork for taxes and stuff. So I'm right here in my kitchen. Um, my daughter is not feeling good right now. It sounds like she's feeling awesome if you hear her in the background, but she has been coughing, and I think it's her allergies. So we're trying to stay inside and get her to feel better because we have a fun weekend planned this weekend or this Saturday. But I really wanted to share with y'all. I'm going to show y'all a picture right here of the latest project that I've done. I did it off camera, and I wish I would have recorded it, but I was also simultaneously, or meanwhile, I was doing the rhinestones and everything else that you've seen posted. I was doing that in the back end, or in the front end. In the back end, I was making doilies. And since obviously I cannot breathe, this baby is like in my lungs right now. And I feel like I have Muhammad Ali in my belly, just like punching my lungs. But I'm trying to just take it easy. The doctor said I'm underweight, so I can't be standing up all the time, and I can't be outdoors sweating because the doctor doesn't want me sweating too much because I'll lose fluids and stuff. And I'm trying to stay inside as much as I can and trying to do as little as I can because the last thing I want is to be on bed rest. And I have exactly 12 more weeks to go, so pray for me. And the baby is happy and healthy. It's just my body is like struggling right now to kind of keep up with it, weight wise and fluid wise. But so far, the doctor says I'm fine. I just need to stop what I was doing, and I was doing a lot. Okay, I have to admit I was doing a lot. I was cleaning the house like crazy, and nesting has gotten worse. Like I'm in that cleaning mode where I have to clean, 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 clean. But so before I get to the actual tutorial on how to do this doily, I want to show y'all you would need to get you some grid paper. Oh, this is upside down. You have to get you some grid paper. And if you go on Pinterest, maybe I can show y'all on my phone. The crochet grid letters, I think, is going to be your best thing. And it will show you like different stuff to show. And I would just screenshot these. Some of them are like really intricate, like right here. But yeah, that's what I looked up. And so all you do is the letters should all be the same on each doily, but you have to make sure you use the same font or the same like group of letters. So if you get a picture of A through Z, use all of those letters. You don't want to skip around and use different letters because you're going to have different sizing. You want it to all be in one size so it's consistent throughout the whole project. But you're going to copy each letter and fill in the blocks and stuff. I'm going to do it in pen and not colored pencil because you can use colored pencil over the pen and still see what you're doing. So that's my whole thing, is if you want to be able to like mark out a section but still have the pattern, then use a colored pencil. But I have been just not crossing it out so I can reuse the same template. So if I ever make a second one of these, which I do plan on doing, I'll do it. But these longer names, it takes a lot of space, but it honestly, it shrinks down once you get it crocheted because you're working with thread. So I got some thread yarn or yarn thread. It's like $3 for like a ton of it. And this is what I got started on. This is what I'll show y'all in the end, like what it looks like finished. But to show y'all how to start it off, I will be showing y'all with a bigger yarn. So, because this is really tiny yarn. As you can see, it's a lot smaller. There's a lot more space here because I really want to see, I don't want to confuse like these end parts together. So what I like to do is make sure that there's no space between this letter and this letter. So as you can see, this is one row over from this one. And I did do one where I left a whole space between each letter, but it was taking way too long and I just couldn't. This one is the same. I could, if I wanted, no. Yeah, some of them you have to make sure that even if you don't put a space, that no matter what, like these two are going to be away, because sometimes you'll have one block over and not pay attention and then have like two blocks in one row from different letters, and to me it just makes it look very blended in and not seamless. But when you're looking up close, you honestly, it's almost like it blends all together, but I swear once you have it all done and spread out, as you can tell, it looks a whole lot cleaner this way. Oh, I gotta remember it wobbles. But I also want to give credit where credit's due. I got this idea. There really wasn't a lot of like books or anything on doilies or anything like that, and all the books that I have are either pillows, baby crochets, edging, or like different stitches and dishcloths and stuff. So I have not found a doily book or any kind of doily pattern, but there was these ladies. I think there's two different ladies that do them, and I'll put both of their videos down below. On I just watched their videos and kind of learned off of them, and they made it so easy. I'm still struggling with how many squares or how many stitches you put, or you know, we're working with the letters itself is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks. But then you got 3 blocks down here. So 1, 2, 3, 16, 17, 18, and 3 blocks above, 19, 20, 21. So in all, you have 21 blocks. But within each block, there's like 3 stitches. So what you're going to do is when you chain with the stitches in mind. So each block there's going to be like 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So it's like 2 in the middle and then 1 on the line. So when I chained, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 63 stitches. So doing the math, whatever blocks you have, so there's 21 blocks, you times it by 3 and it gives you 63. But you're my poor child's pathetic. But you're going to add 1 because we're going to work in single crochets. So you're going to need 64 stitches, and this right here, if I'm correct, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 62. Maybe I miscounted. 63. There's going to be 63. So, but that's only if you're using, like, if you have 21 squares. So if you have other squares that are involved, you're probably going to have to add, you're going to have a different number and stuff. So as far as I know, with my pregnancy brain, hopefully that's correct. If not, I hope somebody will comment down below. If not, if what I'm saying is not true or accurate, again, check the videos down below and they're accurate. But that's what my brain has been programmed or thinking, like, okay, that's how you do it. And right now I can barely count as is with so many distractions right now. It's my brain is all everywhere. So that is how you get the pattern and how you can start on your pattern. Now, let me show you the stitching, and then that will be it on this video. And I'm going to do it with a different yarn to where you can see it. The thread, I'm using a 14. I had to go out and buy a 14, and it's a 0.75 milliliter, which is the exact one that you're supposed to use. I was looking online, and it was telling me to go buy like a 19, but that is 0.75 milliliters, and that's what the thing said. So I'm going by the millimeters and not the number. So I don't know if the numbers are just weird here in America, or if, I don't know, but I went by the milliliters. All right, and I know I'm going to need my trusty 5 milliliter for this yarn. Let me put this in my bowl. Okay, for any beginners, we're going to do a slip knot. So you're going to, this is your working yarn side. So working yarn back here, the end right here. A little too close. And take this. I always just cross it over like that. And then you're going to take your working yarn and pull it through the loop and have this. So it should look like that. And then you want it tight, but not too tight. You want it close to the yarn, or close to the hook, but where you can move it. And then what I like to do is just go ahead and tie it up. Before I forget, before I do anything else, I just like to just tie that knot right there. So I'm not going to do the full grid. I'm just going to show you what you're going to do to fill up the spaces and to make your spaces in this project. So this is all you're doing. So let's do 7 blocks, and then that means that we'll do 21 chains, or actually we'll do 22. But if you have 7 blocks that you need to do for your pattern.
So I shorted myself like 6 blocks. What you really want to do if you want to space above and below your project, you want to do 9 blocks so that you have extra space above and below your letters just for this little tutorial. But I have 6 blocks and no room above or below to where you can really distinctly see it. So if you want to add 9 blocks, just 9 times 3, and make sure that you do chain 3, because even though we're working in double crochet, that chain 3 at the end is going to help you with that space for your border.
So if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, you're going to need 21 stitches in each block, or 21 stitches to fill up those blocks. So
remember that 1 block is your border, so you basically have to add an extra block for your border.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And since you don't want to lose any of those, you got to do 22 so that we can get, or no, 23. You add 2 more. I'm sorry, I said 1 more, but we're working in double crochets. So scratch what I said before. We're adding 2 because we're working in double crochets. You can actually work in triple crochet if you want to make it longer, but double crochets kind of fills up the space faster, and it makes it shorter, and you don't want this doily to be too big, because to get a frame for these doilies, it's a lot of money. The bigger the frame is, the more money you're gonna have to put into these doilies. So even though the yarn is like $3 to make these doilies, like, so far I've gotten 2 skeins of the yarn thread, and this is my second one with the second skein, and I barely used the last skein. So you only need one of the thread yarn, whatever it's called. So yeah, so we added 2 chains, and then 1, 2, you're gonna skip, and then those are kind of going to be your post. So you're going to have 2 crochets right next to each other at the ends. On the top and the bottom, we're working up and down the whole time. So the top and the bottom are going to have 2 double crochets really close to each other. So if you can see, 2 double crochets close to each other and 2 double crochets close to each other at the bottom. And then we're working top to bottom. So we're going to be working, when you work, it's going to be up and down, and our letter is going to be right here, and then you're going to work across over, because it's easier that way, and it's less to keep track of when you're going row by row, or when you're going column. You're going by column and not by rows. So trust me, it's so much easier going by columns and not rows. So we're going to do our first empty square. So when you have an empty square, you're just going to chain. It's going to be 3 stitches to fill up each like square. 1, 2, no, just 2 chains. And then to make a post, we're going to do a double crochet. So we already did 1, 2 chains. So on the third one, the third stitch, or wait, 1, 2, our third one, which is going to be right here, we're going to put a post there. So 1, sorry, I was trying to do a triple. 1, 2. So that's our first empty square. So I'm going to leave this right here so y'all can see a little better. So we have right here is where our chains are right here, and then we skipped 2 chains, and in the third chain we did a double crochet. And then to make our first empty square, we skipped 2, so you have to chain 2, and then on our third one you then do a double crochet in that third from the last stitch. So our last stitch is right here, and then 1, 2, we did chains, and then this one is where we did a crochet. So let's do that again, do the spaces again. Maybe we'll do this whole row as a space, and I'll show y'all how to fill it in. So again, 1, 2, and then to do a post, we have to skip 1, 2, and go into the third one, and make another double crochet. So this is kind of similar to some, this is like a really, really basic form of like how you can fill in spaces and stuff. I've even seen people, apparently you can do this with Afghans, when you can do like letter Afghans or name Afghans, which I never knew, and I thought that was cool. But this is like just, again, a more basic form. All right, so we're going to continue. Chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. I'm going to go into this third stitch right here. So there's 1, 2, third stitch. Sorry about my fingers. And that's another empty square. Now the chains, my beginning chains I made a little bit too loose, but I just wanted to be able to show y'all. So let's go again. Chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, skip 2, 1, 2, and in this third one, gonna insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So chain 1, 2, and then skip 1, 2, and then go in a third, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So again, chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, skip 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to work in this one, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 1. And then we're at the last one, and we're going to yarn over and double crochet in this one. And that's how it should work out perfect every time. Your 2 borders should be right here. Oh, sorry. It should work out every time to where there's 2 posts next to each other every single time.
Okay, so see how we counted for 7 squares and we ended up with 6? That's because this 6 that I just circled is the 6 squares, and the 2 borders are going to be equal as 1 square. So I should have added like 9 squares instead of 7.
So when you go to the next one, we're going to make an L. L for Laura. So when you get to right here, you're going to chain 2, or actually chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going to twist your work and then yarn over, not in this stitch, but in the second stitch, we're going to insert a hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. So this is going to be the easy part. Most people work into the stitching, like work into the chains and stuff. I say skip that. Don't do that. Don't waste your time trying to put your hook in each individual chain because it's going to take you forever. Because the first time I did that, it took forever, and you're working with the smallest hook size ever. Like you're basically working with a needle. So yeah, I highly recommend don't waste your time trying to get into those chains, because I've noticed the other 2 girls in the other videos, they were telling to work in the chains. I absolutely do not want to do that because it's too much time, and I find it better to just work in the empty space and then go on and not have to worry about it. So each space, since we're gonna do the back part of the L, I'm going to do a basic L. So if you want to do an L, this is all you have to do. First, we're going to fill up this whole thing to make the back part of the L. So to make the back part of the L, we're going to fill in all these spaces, and this is how you do that. And this is I like filling in the spaces more than I like making the spaces sometimes, because making the spaces, you have to make sure that you keep them all, because you want it to all be straight at the end. You don't want to skip or add a space or take away a space. But for filling it in, since we have our tube border that we just did, we're just going to put 2 in each space and 1 on the post. So we're working in the space, insert, yarn over. So that's 1, and see, you can push it over to make another one. So yarn over, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and so that fills in our first square. Now we're gonna have to make our post. This V part right here is where we're gonna work into. So yarn over, put into that V, the top of the post, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we filled in our first square. We're going to do the same for each and every one, but you can still work with me as I do it. So yarn over, insert, pull through, and again we're just working in the space, and yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through twice, and then here's the post right here. Again, you want to work into the V. So this V right here, that's what we're going to be working into. But first you got to yarn over. Yarn over, insert on top of the post, pull through 2, pull through 2. So our second one. So by this time you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches. All right, let's keep going. Yarn over, insert in the space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, 1, 2, and then again, so at the top of the post, right there, that's our double crochet, and that's the top of the double crochet, top of the post. Oh, yarn over, insert in the post, yarn over, pull through, it would have 3, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. There we go. And so we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yarn over, insert right here in the space, double crochet, yarn over, insert, double crochet, and then top of the post right here, and yarn over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2, and again, so 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's zoom out just a little bit for anybody that wants to zoom out or wants me to zoom out. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert, pull through. Okay, so this next view is going to be a little bit different. The next square is going to be the same. So we're going to yarn over, work into the top of the post, pull through 2 and do our double crochet, pull through 2, and we're going to fill in 2 more double crochets in the space. So yarn over, put in there, pull through 2, yarn over, work into the space and do a double crochet. All right, and then yarn over, work into that top post and double crochet. And then this is where we work into our border. So that space, you're going to double crochet, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to turn our work. And this is where you can see top versus bottom. So I always use the tail as an indicator of what top and bottom is. So this is going to be your bottom, and this is going to be the top. Sorry, my child is coughing because she's not feeling good. But I think I said 7 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. Basically, our border counts as like 1 square because you have 2 and 2. So all you have to do is just add a few more squares. So if you want 6 squares, you know, you do 7 times 21 or 7 times 3, because with each border is like a square. So if you want 7, you do 8 times 3, and I'll give you 7 squares. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's because of those borders that you have to like add 1 more square. So just for future reference. So now we're going to do a combination with our spaces, and then adding on the last one our filler squares. So let's do that. So just like our first row, we're going to skip this first one and go into the second one with our border, or that's going to create our border. So yarn over, work into the second stitch, double crochet, and then chain 2, 1, 2, skip 1, 2, and work into that third one. So yarn over, work into the third, and do a double crochet, and then chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, skip 1, 2, and work into the third. So we got our 2 empty spaces, chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, 1, 2, yarn over, chain 2, yarn over, skip 1, 2, and go into the third. Pull through and do our double crochet. And we got 1 more box, so we're going to do chain 1, 2, yarn over, skip 1, 2, work into that third, double crochet, and we're going to do 3 more double crochets. So yarn over, double crochet, 1, double crochet, 2, and double crochet, 3, And then we're going to double crochet in this last one. So yarn over, double crochet, and then chain 2. 1, 2. Oh, we're going to do a third. I forgot we did 3. So when you turn it around, we're going to work into this third to make that other, to make, I keep doing it. So we're trying to add on to make an L. So we're going to keep filling this row in, but then these rows are going to be empty until we finish our square. Yarn over, skip that first one, go into the second, double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet 3 times to fill in that square. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2 and double crochet on each post. So chain 2, double crochet on top of this post, chain 2, and double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in this post, and then we're going to double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet in this space. So double crochet, and then we're going to turn it around because again we're making an L, so I feel like, oh, we're making an L, so I feel like we need this a little bit longer. So here's our tail to indicate this is the bottom, and we're going to go out. Oh, I said chain 2, chain 3, and then we're going to double crochet in the second stitch. 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and double crochet in this top post. Whoa, whoa. Double crochet in the top post, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet, and chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and then last double crochet in this post, or to finish off the empty squares. And then we're going to double crochet the next 3 stitches. So 1, so this is 1 out of the 3. This is 2, and then 3, and then this is a space that we do a double crochet in, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You know, when you lay it out, we're still working on the L. Skip this first space. Oh. Skip this first space and go into this one with a double crochet, and then double crochet in the next one, and double crochet in the next two, and then chain two, working the top of the post, and then chain two, top of the post, chain two, double crochet in the top of this post, or top of the post. When I say top of the post, double crochet in the top of the post of each post. When in doubt, double crochet. Okay, chain two, double crochet in the top of the post, and then chain two, double crochet in the top of this post, and then double crochet in the space, and chain three. 1, 2, 3. So that way, when we lay it out, it looks like this. If it looks uneven, it's fine, because I will show y'all at the end of this series how to stretch everything out to where it's all simpatico. But for right now, I'm just showing y'all how to do it. So I want to make this like a nice little square. So right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do about 2 to 3 more. So if you want to hear me repeat myself a million times, keep going. If not, fast forward. So double crochet in the second stitch and chain two, and then double crochet in the next post, chain two, double crochet, chain two, double crochet in the post, chain two, double crochet in the post, chain two, and then double crochet in the post. Then we're going to double crochet 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So once you double crochet in the next 3 stitches, then you're going to do 1 more crochet in this last space, and then chain 3, turn our work. Let's check to make sure we don't have 5 already. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got 1 more inch. So this is going to be our last one. So skip into the, or go into the second stitch, double crochet, and then double crochet the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, we're back to our spaces. So chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the top post, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the top post, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the top post, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the top one, and then chain 2, double crochet in that last post, and then double crochet in the space, and then chain 3, because even though we are done making our letter, we started this off with an empty space right here. So right here it's empty. And so what we're going to do now is create more empty spaces right here. So we got to do our border. So in the second stitch, yarn over and double crochet, and then chain 2, yarn over in the top post, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the next post, chain 2, double crochet in the next post, chain 2, double crochet in the next post, chain 2, double crochet in this post, and then don't chain 2, or no, chain 2, chain 2, chain 2, my bad, because we finished with the letter, so now we chain 2, so 1, 2, and just to make sure, so nobody gets confused, you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then do your last post in the last, or in the third stitch, so 1, 2, 3, double crochet in that third one, and then we're going to double crochet in the space. And then that's how you finish off this one. This is like the simplified version of this. I was just showing y'all how to fill in the spaces, or do spaces, and then how to fill in the spaces. So obviously it's not going to look perfect, but for now I'm just going to leave that like this. That's going to be our introduction to getting started with the doilies. So simplified version, doing this. Again, if you want to do 2 spaces above, just make sure you add, you do 8 times, or no, if you're doing 2 spaces above, adding 2 more squares, you're going to do 9 times 3, and that should give you a square above and a square below. That should give you 8 squares. So you should want 8 squares. But if you just want to get the hang of just doing the filling of the spaces and making the spaces, there you go. I just wanted to show you that to y'all before we get started on this, because I will show y'all with this really thin yarn, or no, I won't show y'all how to get started with this thin yarn, because I feel like that's what this is pretty much. This is how you get started on it, and you just pretty much go with your pattern. So all of those spaces, you want to create a space right here, and then you do your space stitching and then fill them in. Every time there's like a square, fill it in. You're going to do 3 stitches of filling in. So hopefully this makes sense, and hopefully this gets you started on it. But the next video, I will show y'all how, like, I will keep going with this one because I showed y'all how to get started in this video. So in the next video, I will just show y'all on a really smaller scale on how I am keeping up and doing this part. And then the next video after that will probably be a like y'all will it'll be like a time lapse of me actually finishing it. And then I will show y'all how to do the border. I was going to show y'all how to do the border on this one, but I think it would be better if I showed y'all how to do the border with this. So, because that's how I kind of learned. I'm kind of taking all the videos that I gathered from and kind of meshing all of their advice into one because I feel like their videos, I don't know how long it's been since they've posted those videos, but this is going to be like a 2024 update. And next week, I'll show y'all how to really do it in real time. Happy crocheting. Hope you have a good doily time.